My name is Tamara Green. Welcome to 101 Creative and Fun Educational Activities for Children of all ages. As you see here, I have a bulk of yarn. And I'm going to show you how to make a yarn doll. Okay, so I have a few supplies that I've prepared. I'm just going to show you with this case here because I don't have an extra pair of hands. So I'm going to use this case, which is going to allow me to wrap the yarn around and give me a nice 5-inch doll, 5 to 6-inch doll. So this is all we do, is wrap it around several times. Gonna get a good thickness of yarn here. Now this I'm just using as an example, but I had already prepared this one here for you. Okay, and I've also pre-cut a few strips of yarn, about 7 of them, because that's all you're really going to need to prepare your doll. Okay, so what we do first is just fold this in half. We're going to use one piece of yarn for the top of the head. My mom had shown me and my brothers and sisters how to do all different types of crafts when we were little, and it seemed to have stuck with me the most. I just sit there with her while she was knitting her little blankets or sweaters, whatever it is she was creating. And she would have me to sit there with my hands out like this, and she would take the yarn and wrap it all the way around my hands until she unraveled the entire bulk of yarn. And then she would take it and just keep rolling it until you got this nice big ball of yarn. I thought that was so much fun. I think my sisters and brothers, they didn't find it as much fun as I did. Okay, now we need another piece of string. We're going to tie around this part of the yarn for the head. So you're going up maybe going down maybe 1/4 of the yarn of the bulk that you have. Tie it nice and tight. There we go. Okay, so we have our head. Now the rest of this part here is going to be for the body. Some people like to keep the loops, but I personally like to cut them. It just helps me to, separate the arms and legs a bit easier. So you find your loops and just cut them. There we go. Yeah, and sometimes you might miss, a couple, so just go back in there and cut them again. It's not a problem. Right now we can separate our arms and our legs. Right. Now the arms are not going to be as thick as the legs, so I'm just going to take out a few strands there, and this part here will be for the body and the legs. Okay, now don't worry about that string there that you have. You can braid it into the arms, so you can just use it in the body. Alright, I'm using another piece of pre-cut string to go around the waist of the doll. go. Alright, so we have arms, we have legs. Our arms is too long, you know, much longer than the legs, so I'm just going to bring those together and make them nice and even. And cut off about 1.5 inches. There we go. Now, alright, now as for the arms, we're just going to braid each one of these. And it's kind of difficult to braid it if you don't have anyone helping you to hold it down. So you can just put something something heavy on to that part of the doll and braid it. It's funny, but sometimes I just grab it and put this part of it in my mouth. That's if I was making it for myself. Alright, so we braid it, but I already have some things prepared ahead of time. Alright, so here we go. I braided this arm, I braided that arm, and I tied it nice and tight on the ends, and then I braided the legs, tied those nice and tight. Okay, so this does look a bit raggedy right here, so we're going to just trim that up. Okay, make that nice and even. And of course you can use any color yarn you want. I had one little girl who she chose to use a brown yarn, and you know, I let her use whatever color she wanted, and let her paint the face on the doll, and she decorated it herself, you know, made the clothes for it and everything. And she was so excited. She even gave it some flowers and said her doll was going to a wedding. She loved it. You might see that on one of my videos also. Okay, the last hand. Okay, so here we go. I have a piece of yarn left here, so I'm just going to cut that. Alright, so here's your doll. Okay, I don't know how I got that there, but here we go, a little snip. You can use this to maybe tie it at the end and hang it up, or you can just use it for hair. Okay, and with hair you can use more of the same color yarn, or you can get a different color yarn. And then I'm just going to do this right quick. You can work it out however you want. It's nothing, there's no perfect way to do it. Alright, this just allows the child to be as creative as they would like to be. Alright, this is just giving you an idea of what to do with the doll. Okay, so I just loop that in there. Okay, oh, one didn't go through, but that's okay. So here's some hair. You can make it as long as you want, make it as full as you want. Okay, it's up to you. And if you want to make some clothes, I pre-cut a little piece of fabric here. You can just take whatever color you like. I'm just going to make her a little dress right quick. And just wrap it around. There we go. Let's bring it to the back and tie it. You can either tie it in a knot and cut it, or just tuck it down in there. It's up to you. However you want to dress your doll, it's up to you. For boys, you do not want to say doll. You can say action figure. Give them a cape. You know, paint some boots on them. You know, whatever. Just don't call it a doll. They crack me up. Okay, so here's some paint here. Just gonna give it a little eye. Little eye. Ooh. The paint will kind of hold the yarn together once it dries. Alright, little nose. And a mouth. Most little girls like to have a little red mouth, or make it look like it has lipstick on. Alright. I don't know, I just give it a tiny bit more color with I use brown.